Hi there, I'm Saul from San Francisco. Please like and subscribe because my story animated will give $1,000 to one lucky person in the coming 7 days. When I was only 2, Mom left Dad because his business was failing miserably, and she didn't want to be with someone poor. But growing up, Dad adored me and made sure I had everything. But over the next few years, he turned really lucky and his business was booming again. And just like that, we were richer than ever. We had a super big mansion, fancy cars, and butlers. On my 4th birthday, Dad said he had a big surprise for me, and I was super excited for it. But then he introduced me to his girlfriend, Linda. Aw, Saul, you're adorable, baby girl. Ew, she was so weird. But very soon I discovered that she was a witch too. The second Dad would turn his back, she would go all crazy on me. You look like a filthy boy from a slum. And what's with your ugly hair? Ew. But Dad wouldn't listen to a word against her. He was so blindly in love. Soon after they got married, and the first thing Linda did was transfer all of Dad's money to her name. A year later, she gave birth to Tanya, who was the cutest. But slowly, Linda started revealing her real face to Dad too. One day, while Dad was getting ready for a business trip, Linda went all bonkers on him. I have a night out with my friends, and you want me to take these good-for-nothing kids with me? You better stay home and do it yourself. Don't talk to me like you're my boss. It's because of me that you get to enjoy all these luxuries. I work hard and I feed everyone here, so don't give me that attitude. Oh, who says I'm not the boss? Saying that, she threw the property papers in his face and asked him to leave her house. This was crazy, but what Dad did was even crazier. He left us forever, and I had to put up with my witchy stepmom. Now, Linda would spend all of Dad's money on shopping and her parties all day long and not even care about Tanya. So I made sure to look after her, and over time, we grew quite close. One day, Tanya fell sick, and I asked Linda to go get her some medicine. But when she came back, her hands were full of shopping bags. And worse, she didn't get the medicine. Seriously, Linda? I can't believe you're doing this to your own daughter now. Okay, I forgot. What's the big deal anyway? It's just a fever. It'll go away on its own. But the important thing is, what will I wear for tomorrow's party? Whoa, this woman was something. Years passed and Tanya started going to school with me, but I was concerned about her grades. So I went to her room to help her with the upcoming tests, but Linda didn't seem happy about it. Why are you trying to make her a geek like you? Isn't it enough that she has the biggest glasses on her nose? For God's sake, let her be like me, growing up and finding a rich husband. That's what smart women do. Ugh, she was horrible, and Tanya was nothing like her. So I made sure to help her when Linda wasn't around. Then one snowy evening, I thought Tanya was outside having snow fights with the neighborhood kids, but what I saw left me shocked. I realized all the kids had ganged up on her and were throwing snowballs at her face. Take this, loser. OMG, he was so done. I ran out and picked up a huge chunk of snow and threw it at him. Don't you dare hurt my sister, dummy. I chased all the stupid kids away and took Tanya inside. A few moments later, Linda walked in, and I told her all about it. So, what should I do? And what did you expect, really? Of course kids are gonna bully her for looking like a loser nerd. Linda, are you crazy? You're her mother. Do something! You want me to do something? Fine. From today, she won't go to school and anywhere outside, and then there'll be no more problems. What? How could she do that? Tanya ran up to her room in tears, and I went after her. Don't worry, little sis. I'll get you out of here. But how? She'd ground me forever if she finds out. Well, then she will never find out. That's when an idea hit me. If I kept Linda distracted, she wouldn't care about us. I swapped Linda's shampoo with green dye, and the next morning, she looked like the freaking Grinch as she ran to the salon in her bathrobe. Tanya and I laughed our butts off and headed off to school. I'd find more ways to keep Linda busy. Later that day, when I went to the school cafeteria to have lunch with Tanya, she didn't show up for quite some time. Just then, I heard someone crying from under the table. I bent down and saw Tanya. Hey, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Come on out. That boy, that Jerry, he took my glasses and pushed me. I couldn't see anything, and everyone started laughing. So I hid here. Oh, God. I marched straight to the boys' table and pulled him up by his shirt. Let me show you who the real gangster is, kid. Whoa, easy, please. What's wrong? I turned around to see Sebastian, a new student who had just joined my class. This guy has been bullying my little sister, and I'm here to teach him a lesson. OMG, I'm so sorry. He's my younger brother, and I'll make sure to teach him better. It's just that we're new here, and he's having a tough time adjusting. But I promise, he won't do it again. He immediately grabbed the glasses from his little brother's hand and put them on Tanya. Well, that was sweet. Later during class, he apologized to me again, and I kind of felt I was too harsh with his brother. Hey, listen, it's just that I'm too attached to Tanya. I feel more like a mom to her, so I couldn't see her crying, and it's all right. I totally understand. Turns out, he and his brother were a lot like us. Their mother passed away long ago, and their dad was always away for work, and that connected us instantly. He also suggested that we all go sledding in the evening so that our siblings could get along. It sounded like a great idea, and the four of us actually had a lot of fun together that evening. But as soon as we reached home, I was shocked to find Linda all flared up in anger. You all think you're smart enough to play your little pranks on me? Well, now it's my turn. Tanya, you're grounded forever. No school, no friends, and finally, no sister. 'Cause Saul's moving to an orphanage right now. What? Why? You can't do that. Mom, no, please don't say that. She's my sister and your daughter. No, she isn't. Not anymore. I have signed off the papers and gave up her guardianship. Now she's an orphan. So, pack up your bags and leave my house, Saul, before I kick you out. No, you can't make me leave. I tried to fight her for Tanya's sake, but that evil witch made the guards throw my stuff out of the house, and now I had no other option but to leave the house and Tanya. While I was leaving, Tanya kept screaming at me from the balcony. Please don't go, Saul. What will I do without you? It was hard for me to see her in tears, but I promised her I'd come back for her someday. After that, I kept walking for hours until it started raining, and I stopped at a restaurant. Just then, the waitress came in and asked me what I wanted to eat. Well, I don't have any money, so I'm afraid I won't be able to order anything. But she sneaked me some hot chocolate from the counter and told me it was on her. She seemed like a really nice lady and even asked me if I wanted a job. A job? That'll be great. I didn't want to go to the orphanage, and this way I could earn some money too. So I started working there as a waitress. The lady also offered me a place to live, and I kind of felt like I'd found a new home. Days passed, and I even learned some basic tailoring and designing from the old waitress. Within a month, I was able to design beautiful dresses and sweatshirts out of old rugged clothes. One day, while I was serving coffee to one of the customers, I accidentally spilled some over her dress. Are you blind? That's a designer piece. She seemed really mad, so I'd said I'd get her something to wear. I ran to the storage room where I had all my designs, and since I couldn't pick one for her, I carried them all to her. Oh my God, these are amazing. Who made them? I did. She looked awestruck by my talent and told me she was a world-famous designer herself. Her name was Angelica Martino. And then she offered me a job as a designer. This was freaking awesome. I couldn't believe my ears. I took this opportunity and followed her to Italy and joined her massive company. And within months, I was making more money than I'd expected. Honestly, I was quite happy, but I always felt that there was something missing from my life. Tanya. I told Angelica I wanted to visit San Francisco, but she wouldn't let me. I can't let anyone go just like that. We have business to do here. And if you still want to go, you can. But then, where you'd gone? Are you okay? Suddenly, I burst into tears and told him everything that happened. And he asked me to move into his place with him and Jerry. I said yes, and he took me to his huge mansion. And seeing the brothers taking care of each other made me think about Tanya even more. So I went to see her the first thing in the morning with Sebastian, but I was super shocked to see her all alone. She ran towards me as soon as she saw me and burst into tears. Oh, Saul, where were you? I missed you so much. You said you'd come back for me, and I waited for you every single minute of every day. I felt so lonely without you. I missed you too, little sis. I thought about you every single day, and I'm so sorry that I made you wait for so long. But now that I'm here, I promise, I'm never gonna leave you alone, and I'll make up for everything. Then she told me that Linda had been living away with her rich boyfriend for months now, and she had left Tanya all by herself. She was unbelievable. I took Tanya with me to Sebastian's place, and I even filed a case against Linda for Tanya's custody, and she happily gave it away to me. Good riddance. After that, I opened my own fashion store. A few years later, Linda came back after getting dumped by her fraud boyfriend who took all her money and ran away. I raised you all those years, so I deserve half of the money from your fashion store. You can't say no. You didn't raise me, Linda. You just threw me out of my own house like trash. And now I'm returning the favor. Yeah, Mom, I prefer to see you homeless because you're the worst mother on earth. Just get lost. Oh, on second thought, why homeless when we can put her in jail? The right place for terrible people like her. We finally called the cops and filed a case against Linda. We won, and she was thrown in jail for years. And Tanya and I lived happily ever after. Hi, my name is Brandy, and I'm from North Carolina. Please like and subscribe before I continue my story. The night I was born, there was a huge storm in my town, which led to a complete power blackout. My mom kinda gave birth to me in the dark. The next morning when she saw me, Mom was shocked. I had bright red hair, unlike anyone in our family. But the doctor said it was possible some ancestors had red hair and they'd been passed on to me. Mom adored my hair, but my older brothers, Sam and Alan, were always jerks about it. Once when I was 5, they came to me with a ghost chili pepper and said that eating it gave special powers to redheads. So I instantly popped it in my mouth. Seconds later, Mom was rushing me to the hospital. Growing up with those two, I'd heard every stupid thing. Mom found you in a dumpster when you were a baby. Your real parents are tomato farmers. Someone left you at our doorstep with money and this note. $10,000 for keeping our ugly baby. Thank you. My brothers were a pain in the butt. When I was in 10th grade, my sweet grandma died. After the funeral, I snuck off to her room. Moments later, Sam opened the door and spat at me. Stop crying, loser. She wasn't even your grandma, 'cause you aren't related to us. I leapt forward and attacked him. Just then, Alan came running and pulled me away as I screamed, I am your sister. Say I am, or I'll knock your teeth out. Say it, jerk. Brandy, I don't think you are. Look what I found in Grandma's study. I was about to bite Alan too, but when I saw what he gave me, I was shocked. They were my adoption papers. I ran out immediately and burst into the living room. You're not my real mom? Everyone looked stunned, including Mom. Sweetheart, let's talk about this later. No, I want to talk about it right now. When she saw the papers, she looked mad. Oh God, did your stupid brothers just play a prank on you? Brandy, these papers aren't real because I never adopted you. But one thing is true, I'm not your biological mom. What? Mom then told me the most whack story ever. She said the night I was born, a woman had switched me with another baby at the hospital. The power came back on and she was caught on camera. But the hospital staff saw the footage months later. The woman was identified, but I didn't press charges. Why? Because, darling, I was completely in love with you by then. I couldn't give you up. You were my daughter now, even if you weren't the one I gave birth to. My whole world had suddenly turned upside down, and my jerk brothers had been right. Mom told me her name was Olivia, and we discovered that she was the CEO of a huge makeup company, Cinderella's Secret, and she had red hair, like me. To my shock, Mom gave me all her savings to go look for her. You deserve to meet her, love, but I'll be waiting for you when you come back to me. And just like that, I was on a flight to New York, and the minute I got there, I landed into disaster. Just as I'd hailed a cab at the airport, I turned around to pick up my bags, and they were gone. My money, passport, clothes, everything. All I had was my cell phone. So the first place I visited in New York was the police station. After filing my report, I asked an officer if he could drop me at the makeup company's headquarters. My heart was pounding. I was about to meet my real mom. I walked to the receptionist and told her I wanted to see the CEO. She stared at me, then burst out laughing. You think the CEO has time to meet some poor, ugly girl? Where are you even from? Your outfit is hideous. Go away, I'm working. Listen, I think the CEO will want to see me because, well, I'm her daughter. That's impossible, you idiot. I'm her daughter. I couldn't believe I was looking at the girl I'd been swapped with. I tried telling her the whole story, but she just kicked me out. I felt lost about what to do next. I didn't want to call Mom for more money. As I was walking down the street, I saw a salesperson wanted sign outside a makeup store, and suddenly I had a great idea. I applied for the job and got hired immediately. At the end of my first shift, I stuffed a bunch of makeup from my mom's brand in my pockets. Then I went to the police station, and luckily, the same officer who'd helped me before was there. "Officer, I stole all this makeup. Arrest me!" He looked so confused, so I whispered that I desperately needed a place to stay. He agreed to keep me in jail, but only for 3 days. That night, I started recording a makeup tutorial on my phone. I knew I had to do something crazy to get attention. So I put on all the rainbow-colored eyeshadow and a crazy winged liner. I thought it actually looked uber cool. I posted the video online, tagging the makeup company's page, and went to sleep. The next morning, I saw that my video had gone freaking viral. People loved the rainbow eye, and more surprisingly, they thought I was really pretty. Also, lots of people noticed I was in jail and were demanding my release. A few hours later, the police officer told me I had a visitor, and my heart almost stopped when I saw who it was. Olivia, my birth mom. She introduced herself and said she loved what I'd done with her makeup, and she wanted me to be the face of her new campaign. Of course, I agreed. And when she found out I didn't have a place to stay, she took me to her gorgeous mansion. I couldn't have planned this any better. Suddenly, I bumped into the receptionist I'd met the day before, and she looked furious to see me. "You? Do I have to call security again to throw you out?" "Sylvia, what do you mean, again?" "This creep came by the office yesterday." "And you threw her out? You can be such a fool sometimes. Do you know she's the genius behind the rainbow eye?" "No, I just copied it from a friend. Ew, now I want to poke my eyes out. Why is this beggar even here, Mom?" "She's my guest, so behave yourself." I could feel Sylvia's death glare as I walked off to my room. Wow, Mom's real daughter was a witch. Later that night, I woke up to some strange sound, and when I turned around, I screamed. Freaking Sylvia was standing by my bed. "Tell me who you are and why you're really here." Well, I told her the whole story, and I was certain she wouldn't believe a word. But what she said next shocked me. I sometimes wondered who my birth mom was, and now I know. She's a poor weirdo like you, and the woman I live with is a millionaire. So I guess I really hit the jackpot when she stole me. Wait, you know Olivia isn't your mom? Oh yeah, I know. A stupid maid once said I looked adopted, so I got a DNA test done. Now you listen to me. I don't want you telling Olivia you're her daughter. If you try to take over my life or my money, I will destroy you. Of course, I wasn't afraid of that witch. I had to tell Olivia at some point because I wanted answers. But I kept delaying it because I was having such a good time. Over the next few weeks, Olivia took me everywhere with her, and we were doing photo shoots and filming commercials. I was being pampered by a team of people and wearing amazing clothes. I was loving it. Olivia was holding a launch party for the new makeup range, and she'd bought me a gorgeous new dress for it. I went to her room to show her how it looked, and she couldn't stop gushing. "You look exquisite, my darling. I'm so glad I found you." I decided this was the moment of truth. "Yeah, me too. Olivia, there's something I need to..." And just then, my eyes fell on the dressing table and all her makeup. None of it was her own brand. "You don't use Cinderella's Secret?" "Good God, no. That stuff will ruin your skin." "But isn't it supposed to be all natural ingredients?" "Well, since you're such a sweetie, I'll let you in on a little secret. No, it's all chemicals. It's way too expensive to use the natural stuff." But Olivia, that's dishonest. You're lying to all your customers." Suddenly, she looked livid. "I don't remember asking your opinion. I know how to make money and be successful, and that's all that matters. And let me remind you, your contract doesn't allow you to talk about my products, so I'd keep my mouth shut if I were you." I left the room in shock. My birth mom was a monster. The next evening, everyone at the party was coming over and giving me compliments, but I just felt unhappy now. Just then, someone tapped me on the shoulder and I turned around to see a sleazy-looking guy. "I've been watching you from across the room, and I can't seem to stop. You're a hottie, and I'm a hottie, so we should get to know each other, babe." Sorry, I think Olivia's calling me." But as I started to walk away, he grabbed me by the waist and kissed me. I pushed him away, but just then Sylvia attacked me. "How dare you kiss my boyfriend? You think you can take everything? I'm gonna kill you, witch!" As I fought her off, Olivia came to my rescue and pulled her away. She screamed at Sylvia in front of everybody, who burst into angry tears and stormed off. That night, I decided I was leaving this madhouse. I was gonna tell Olivia everything, get my answers, and take the first flight home. I marched to her room, but as I got closer, I heard Sylvia shouting inside. "You don't love me anymore, do you? It's because she told you? She's your real daughter, isn't it?" OMG, Sylvia had told her before I could. "Yes, I know she's my daughter, but she didn't tell me. I just knew the moment I first saw her." Wait, what? But why did you steal me at birth and leave her? "I just picked the prettiest baby from the nursery, and that was you. She was a really ugly newborn. Listen, my darling, you're my daughter. This girl is just good for business because she's a different face. Once people are bored of her, I'll send her packing." I turned around and fled to my room. I'd heard all I needed to know. I packed my bags and climbed out the window. Before heading for the airport the next day, I stopped at the office of a journalist I'd met once. I dropped off all the makeup I had with an anonymous note. "Get Cinderella's Secret products tested in the lab, and you'll find out what a scam it is. Thank me later." When I got home, Mom opened the door and let out a cry of joy. As I hugged her, I realized how much I'd missed her. My mom, the only one. Well, long story short, the journalist did follow up on my lead and published an article that brought down Olivia's company. She was sued for billions and went bankrupt, and even had to serve some jail time.